Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
So, everything I fear, like as a parent, it was in this video, and it was just like
Great
so
video.
inspiring to actually see the outcome, because it was like, thank you, Lord, this is everything I waited for.
Should we show her?
It's Deputy Bill Dunn. He's in the Seminole County Sheriff's Office.
Seminole,
Seminole,
Florida, right?
down in Florida.
Okay.
He got a call from someone frantic, and they had seen a baby, a 3-year-old, in the back of a car. No one had any idea how long the child had been there,
Okay,
but she
so
was
all
unconscious.
right, let's leave it there. We got cameras on the dash. We got cameras on the suit.
Everything, and it's
All right.
completely freaking out. But anyway, here's what Deputy Bill Dunn does.
It's late morning on Father's Day. Deputy Bill Dunn, a father himself, has just discovered a 3-year-old girl left inside a car which by this time was sweltering.
I mean, you go from, it was probably 80 degrees outside to where you have 109, 110 degree steam just rushing out at you.
When you opened that car door?
When I opened the car door. Sadly, I didn't think that she was alive when I got to her. I felt for a pulse. I didn't feel a pulse.
He rushed the child to his cruiser and turned on the air conditioning. Faint signs of life started to return.
Once the cold air hit her, that's when I started noticing her eyes kind of fluttering.
2630, I'm trying to take her to CFR.
Since this was not originally a medical call, there was no ambulance on the scene and no time to wait. Dunn took off for the hospital with the little girl lying next to him, encouraging her back to consciousness.
It's okay, baby. Talk to me. You're okay.
I remember one thing distinctively was my hand on her chest and feeling her heart racing. It was beating really, real fast.
But that was a good thing.
Absolutely. She got a heartbeat.
At the hospital trauma room, the medical team was ready and waiting. After dropping off the child, there was nothing more Dunn could do. He walked out to his patrol car and slumped over.
My legs were a little weak. It's a heck of a thing to experience that adrenaline dump, and then when it finally all goes away, how it really does affect your body.
The sad reality is 36 children across America die in hot cars every year. How does it happen? According to scientists who study these tragedies, they often start with some sort of disruption in the family routine. Mom has overslept. Dad is late for work. In their minds, they think that the child is safe at home or at daycare, but the reality is something far worse.
I know many people who have seen these stories across the media that have played out and have made the determination to actually take their cell phone or their purse or their wallet and put it back there where the child's safety seat is. If you get into the habit of checking the car and looking at that, then it becomes routine.
3 days later, this little girl was out of the hospital, and Deputy Dunn had a chance to meet her.
It meant everything to me. I was so happy I was able to do that.
Now, weeks later, Dunn sees this episode as the worst of what he has to face on the job, becoming the best.
Sometimes we're able to have a moment like this that makes it all worthwhile.
The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops, with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com. And by Brio Technologies. They rent, sell, and install audiovisual components, including professional sound, lighting, video, and intercom systems, components, projectors, interactive whiteboards, and classroom audio systems. Just go to BrioAudiovisual.com.
Wow.
Are you crying a little bit right now?
No, I'm okay.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
No, I'm not. It's dusty.
Dust in
There's
it
smoke in
is
the
the
air.
smoke. That's what it is. No, I cried like a baby, I'll tell you. Was that the most amazing thing at the end when she hugged him and he hugged her back? Okay, sorry. All right, but it is hotter than hell pretty much everywhere. Here, there, everywhere. But I feel guilty complaining about our wildfires because Europe, I was talking to a friend of mine in England, and it is so bad there that all of the gardens have burned down.
Right.
Not like burned down, but like just died out because there's no water and it's so hot.
Right.
And they found shapes from old gardens all over England, from gardens that had been underneath the new gardens that had been made.
I read a report.
It's like gardening archaeology or something.
In northern Canada, they set a heat wave record. It was 43 degrees above zero.
Wow.
And for them, that's just like, it's bikini weather. It's like, I'm running around with,
I mean, think about it though. It melted glaciers in Austria and Sweden.
Yeah.
Broken records down in Portugal. But here's one thing that's amazing that came out of this. There's 3 large flamingo preserves around the UK, and the reason why is because these are extremely.
Can I say something? If I say the word flamingo to you, do you go to the UK? Does your mind even wander in that direction? No.
They have wetlands reserves there that have
I
worked
did
out
not
for
know
the
this.
flamingos.
I didn't know.
But they've been really worried because these are 2 specific breeds that they haven't been able to get to breed. They haven't laid eggs, haven't been interested.
Maybe it's just not the right look.
Well, this is where your concern about the cooler weather in England comes in, because the unbelievable heat waves have made all the flamingos go, that's awesome. Everyone's been laying eggs. There's baby flamingos. This is happy news.
When it gets hot, it gets hot.
I love the idea of a baby boom of flamingos.
It's just the weirdest
Nothing
thing.
is cuter than a baby flamingo, nothing.
In Britain, it just
Isn't that interesting,
It just
though?
fascinates me. Well, everyone evidently is having a romance.
Everyone but Colombia.
Colombian officials have actually come out, and they're having a heat wave as well. And their professional statement is they're warning people not to have sex during the middle of the day because of,
That's really an official statement from
because
like.
dehydration and such. Local radio stations are playing the things to avoid sex during the day when temperatures are highest.
Activity places on your
It's-
physical demands on you.
It says if people are going to have sex, it's best to wait till the evening temperatures when the temperatures.
So who's running the country, like a Lutheran minister? Because this sounds like something my stern and
Oh,
unyielding
right,
grandfather would
right,
say.
Right.
Well, this is disgusting
You'll go blind.
in every way.
You just-
But it's going to kill you now, just so you know. It's like,
Here's the kicker. If you have good air conditioning, there's no problem.
you imagine people calling their friend, hey, Bob, you going to be working today? Because you got air conditioning, central air, right?
Yeah, you're working all day, right? Yeah. Leave your key under the mat. would
That
you?
is so sad.
It seems
This is kind of like, we're running through a theme here, aren't we?
This is the interesting thing in Mesa, Arizona. ICU.
Also unbelievably hot.
First of all, I got to tell you, been to Florida. The worst moment in Florida, in Arizona, is opening the car door and getting to the business building you're going to.
I lived in Arizona and Phoenix and
I don't know
Tucson.
how
Yeah, I
you did
remember that.
I don't know how you
There's
did
still
that.
skin patches of my skin embedded in the car seat.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, I remember that.
And so I have been to the ICU. I have. I woke up there unwillingly once I realized how much it hurt. And the nurses there, one was like Hitler, and the other one was like Mr. Rogers, and told us stories. And Erin was next to me, and I had an open heart, and she told me stories, and she took a washcloth and washed my hair, and she was wonderful. The Hitler girl
Was still amazing after we kind of settled
you
between
almost
us.
had a little fight.
Oh
but
no, I
she
was reading
just
your
like-
chart and I asked a question and she goes, I can kick you out of here if you want. And I went,
Right.
I'll shut up.
So I wake up and she says, you know what we're going to do now? We're going to stand up. And I was like, that's not right. And I stood up and I had to march, so blood clots and all that crap. And I go, she is the meanest person who's ever kept me alive I've ever known.
But the whole point of this is ICU nurses are amazing. ICU. The ones that took care of me after I had the twins. I mean, these are like brilliant, amazing, strong women.
You count on these people.
They are so much tougher than any medical professional I've ever seen because everything is so excruciating and dire, and they're like on it.
And it's like the doctor kind of goes, here.
So now, what is it about these particular ICU nurses though that makes them so
interesting.
spectacular?
Well, it's in Phoenix, like I said, and it's at the Banner Desert Medical
Center.
Center.
Yeah, the desert part is for sure.
Yeah, why even say it? It's already there. And so basically, 16 of the nurses, ICU nurses, highly professional women.
So that's a fairly small clump though, because ICU is quite specialized. Okay, so 16
Right,
is a very large.
16 are all pregnant
Get out!
at the same time.
Okay, that's impossible.
The nurses who aren't pregnant are so sick and tired of baby talk. And it's like, well, when I have my baby, and they're just like, really?
We don't
You're
care
gonna kill me,
anymore."
right?
That's
And
hysterical.
all the patients who go through are just like, you all are bumpy. You all have babies coming.
16.
16 of them.
Well, it's funny because all the old studies they used to do if women work together long enough that like all of their hormonal cycles would
Right,
kind of go
right,
together. And,
right.
and you and I actually used to joke about that because we had a couch back when we hired a lot of women to work with Zachy and McClaney when we were working with some autism programs. And you have
Right.
to have like 6 to 10 people working with them. And we used to joke and call it the pregnancy couch because
No
like
one was
4
allowed.
girls got pregnant
Don't
that
sit
year and
on
we're
the
like, you
couch.
can't sit on the couch
Don't
anymore.
sit on it. Should they go to do it? The other
No,
one,
not the pregnancy
don't
couch.
do it. You're gonna have.
I mean, you begin to wonder there's got to be something that makes them click at the same
I don't
time.
know, but here's one of the things: is that they're all gonna have babies between October and January.
that's
So-
only a 3-month
So
separation.
they all said, "Well, we just wanted the holidays off."
We timed it that way.
But really nice because the other nurses are helping out,
man.
and when they can't go in to do a deal, a thing like radiation and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
they'll go in for the pregnant moms.
That's
They'll go in
amazing.
if there's someone they don't want to get exposed to any sickness or anything like that. They're all pitching.
The
and
funny
going,
thing is, Rochelle Sherman said, I don't think we realized just how many of us were pregnant until we started a Facebook group. And we're like,
right.
wow, that's a lot of us. That's so funny.
That is so funny.
All right, so we've already gone right down to, the love
Pretty
and
much
pregnancy part.
Worked our way down through the educational.
Let's move backwards now to the wedding, which ideally sometimes often precedes some of those things.
All right.
This is the weirdest thing ever. Do you remember Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves, who's like one of my favorite actors in the entire world? He's an amazing man.
Yes.
They starred in Dracula together.
Yes, they
This
did.
was back in the it was in the 1900s.
I remember he's a
1900s.
lawyer. Nice girl.
Like it was like 1993, I think, or something. But yeah,
It was a long time ago. But he goes as a little lawyer, go get some papers signed by Dracula.
and Dracula follows back and he finds the beautiful Winona. Well, here's the funny thing. They were talking about this because they're starring in a new movie together. And she
Right.
goes, hey, Keanu, do you remember when we shot those scenes, they get married by a Romanian Orthodox priest.
An actor.
No, it was a real priest. Francis Ford Coppola, who was the director, used
Right.
a real Romanian priest. And she said, we shot the whole master scene, went all the way through the ceremony,
Right.
did all this stuff, and then
Said I
did
do.
pickups and stuff. But she said, he was a real priest. She says, I think we're married. And Keanu's looking at her going,
He's never been married.
well,
See,
neither one
his-
of them. Neither one of them.
No.
And
he
so
go-
technically,
they must be waiting for each other.
that was hysterical. So they're both like,
That's so funny.
essentially we probably, and I guess Keanu was pretty good about it. He goes, well,
Yeah,
that's nice.
he's funny.
But here's the funny thing. The movie that's coming out, it's on the 31st, is actually called Destination Wedding, and they play friends of the bride and groom, and they're all pissy and mean, and they're like such unpleasant people that nobody wants to be around them, so they get assigned to like the same table and all the same activities because nobody else wants to do anything with them.
I can't wait.
And so they're going to end up together and in love.
I
But
can't wait to see Keanu Reeves be all mean.
I know, curmudgeon, because he's so
Have
sweet.
you ever seen him mean?
I'm sure
No.
he did Much Ado About Nothing with
No.
Kenneth
I
Branagh,
got nothing.
where he
I
was
got nothing mean.
sort of, but
I got nothing mean. He rides a subway. He lives in a modest
He's
home.
adorable. He donates boatloads of his money.
Huge amount of money. He's going to heaven.
totally. But that's so funny but no, it's just the weirdness of, because they haven't started a movie since. They got into this one together, and then it literally hit her, I guess, halfway through their press tour, like,
But see,
we could still technically be
but
married.
here you have to sign something.
Well, at least in Romania.
Romania, they just like all you have to do is throw chicken at each other.
Well, no, because they had a Romanian Orthodox priest. It was the real ceremony.
That's hilarious.
And they shot it for a movie, but yeah, so technically in Romania, they're probably still married.
And they've saved themselves for each other. and I
Sure
think
they
that is so
have.
cool.
I know
Hey,
they
I want
have.
to talk really quick about Tell Me Something Good, our Facebook page.
Yes, yes, yes.
So tell them more. So the story we showed you, the video we showed you earlier
Oh.
about the police officer saving the baby, it's stuff like that. It's stuff that's positive.
It's things that's meant to bring us back together instead
Right.
of the things that separate us. This is the stuff that we all feel with each other and that we are emotional. And the times that you're having a hard day, this is totally the place to go. We also have a $100 gift card giveaway we're doing right now because nothing makes me happier than money. So I figured an extra $100 around back to school wouldn't hurt anybody.
That doesn't
So,
hurt.
so stop by the Facebook page. It's Tell Me Something Good. Sign up to enter to win the $100 gift card. And go back when you're depressed or having a hard day. Because this is like the answers I've been getting back from people now in the comments
Yeah.
have made like my entire year.
Right.
Because they're like, I had not realized how sad I was or how much I doubted the world.
Or how fun this was to read. instead of
until
other crap.
until I came here and remembered how good the
Right.
world was and how many of us loved each other.
Right.
So yes, we would love to have you stop by and take a look, and also make sure that you like and share the show today. because we would love to you enter to win the dinner for 4 at Christopher's Prime Steakhouse, which we will draw on Friday.
Now, Erin did the school shopping, and you've been doing this for about a week, and I forgot to ask you a question because I was seeing, I was thinking about, because I saw this movie part, and it was just like when we were kids, and you got to go pick out your lunchbox. It was a huge deal. It's like Spider-Man or Superman, and not the new ones, the old school.
Yeah, the old school heroes, and they were real metal boxes.
They were, and you know that thermos that broke on the first day?
Always.
Every single time? We had those too.
Yeah.
So what's out there now? I just wanted to know. Is there anything?
We'll put up a video tomorrow, but it was really disappointing. It's all hardcore like sports names, like Nike and Hurley and.
You know what?
But there's not even like the My Little Ponies or anything fun like that, or any of the new Marvel heroes. I was kind of.
I don't think I want anything with the word hurl in my lunchbox.
Oh, they do have this new series now. They're like these grim neoprene clutches. That's what they call them, the neoprene clutches. You know, so it's that weird fabric.
The foamy stuff.
Yeah, and then it's like it squishes together and like I guess squeezes all your food in there. But it looked threatening.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll discuss lunchboxes tomorrow.
This story reminded me of you.
Really?
Every time,
Okay.
Erin and I go out of state, and we go to a state that has a lottery, you know, and stuff. We always buy tickets because you know why? Because we want to buy swing
We like
sets.
to throw money into the street.
Swing sets
Essentially.
at the schools, and so that's where they say the money goes. Hopefully, and one of Erin's favorites is me surprising her with like some scratch-off tickets, and I, you know, hand her like 5, and she's like,
I know I'm
"Oh."
simple. It's an
And
activity.
I gave her a quarter, and she's like rubbing them off. And every single time that we don't win, you are totally surprised. And we've been doing this for 20 years. It's like, I didn't win. And I went, you're not supposed to win every time. That's why there's big numbers out there waiting to be won.
I've been raised in a non-gambling state. We don't gamble. We don't. And so when we actually do get a scratch-off ticket, I feel like we have paid our dues.
So you should win.
We have bought the ticket.
Right.
Therefore, there should be a winning number on it.
No. No, there's
How
not.
can that be?
Well, there's another guy in California. This is a great story. And,
Tell me.
and he evidently had the same feel.
The can-do attitude. Good for him.
No, the pissed off attitude.
Oh, well, that too then.
And so he went in and he went into a liquor store and he just went in to get some scratch-off tickets. And he bought one. And he scratched it off angrily like you.
I don't do it angrily. I do it with anticipation.
Rips it in half, throws it away. Give me another one. He takes that one and he scratches it off. Loser. And he says to the clerk, I am not leaving here until I win. Give me another one.
You know, the clerk's like, hope your debit card's got
We're going to
really
be
good
here a
money."
while.
Yeah.
Takes the next one like this and goes, and he goes, $750,000.
You're lying to me right now.
I wouldn't lie because it's such a great story.
That's
So-
hysterical.
He goes, I'm not leaving till I win. Is that enough? $750,000. Is that enough?
That's a lot. I'm
That's
good
a lot
with that.
of money. And so he decided,
Wow.
this is the cool thing. So you win this kind of money, and you know you have all these opportunities. You can go down and wait until the end, and then you go bring it to them at the last day, and you get your money. But I wouldn't do that. So they both went down, and they did that, and they decided number one that they were going to get married, and number two they were going to start a small business.
Oh, this is like his girlfriend, the winner and his girlfriend? That's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah. So he told her about it.
That was useful.
First
We know-
mistake.
no, we know he really loves her. That was because there's like a moment there. How
There is a
much
test
you
of
love. Yeah.
So
That's so
So they're
cool.
going to get married. They're going to start a business, and he would not leave until he won. That's called the cheap way out. 3 tickets.
That's hardcore.
I know it is.
Maybe I just have not been thinking
No,
positively
no.
enough.
Don't you start saying
Maybe I
you're not
could
going
be
to leave.
driving up to Evanston and I could just
No,
think
no,
positively.
No, you're not going to. No, because if you go into a grocery store with your luck and you say, I'm not going to leave until I win, you're going to be there forever. And we will have nothing.
And I'll be sitting here coated in shavings.
Just up to your waist. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Thanks
We
for
love
joining
you.
us.
Like and share the show, please. That enters you to win that dinner for 4 at Christopher's Prime Steakhouse.
This is Todd and Erin on the Daily Stream.
I could win if he had that positive attitude. Why could I have not won with my
Can you
positive
imagine
attitude?
the look on his face when he scratches the third one off and he goes, yeah, that's right.
He's like, I can do anything now. Anything.
Give me a steel bar. I could bend it right now.
Hello, yeah.
Ah, such a funny story.